Hello students, a warm welcome you to this session. Current session is on functions. Our current session is on functions. How to create functions in C language, part 1. Before we start this session, you please subscribe our channel if you haven't subscribed it before. And please share our channel and do like our channel. Let's continue. How many programs can be write in a single C program? How many programs can be write in a single C program? Answer is as many as we want. We can write as many programs as we want. There is not any restriction for writing number of programs in a single program and domain. So, but then it will become a long program. Then it will become a long program. So, answer is how many? The question, answer of question how many programs can we write in a single program is we can write as many programs as we want, but it becomes a long program. Now we learn about the problems in a long program. Number one, it becomes a complex program because it contains so many programs. Then second problem is it becomes difficult to read it and understand it. Number three, it takes some time to find a particular program. It takes some time to find a particular task in that long program. Because if we have to search for a task or a program where it is being started and where it is being ended, it becomes difficult to find this. So when an error comes, then it also becomes difficult to find error because there are so many lines and it takes some time to go to that particular line. So it becomes difficult to find errors in a long program also. So same variable names cannot be taken in a long program because if we are writing more than one programs in a single program, so every program or every different task needs variable declaration. So we will have to think different names for different variables. So same variable names cannot be taken. So these are some problems that can arise in a long program. So what is the solution? Now we learn the solution for a complex program is function. Solution is a function. So what is function? A large program can be divided into smaller parts. We can divide a large program into smaller parts, and these smaller parts are called functions. We can call it as subroutine or procedures. So we have learned we can divide a large program into smaller parts, and every smaller part will have its own set of commands, and these smaller parts are functions or subroutine or procedure. So this is the basic general definition of a function, and this is the solution. You divide a large program into smaller separate parts so that separate parts can easily be identified and searched, and variable declaration problem will not occur. Same variable declaration problem because we can take same variable names in different parts in different functions. So this is the solution function. So now we learn the types of a function. A function can be can be one of the two types: inbuilt function, inbuilt function, or user-defined function. Inbuilt function are those functions that are predefined, that are predefined, that are already defined by a C developer. And user-defined functions are those functions that are defined by users, that are defined by us. We can create our own functions. We'll see. So whether it is built-in function or a user-defined function, it can be in different form. It can appear in different form before us. Um, so there are different forms in which a function can appear. So what are those forms? We say forms of a function. There are four categories. We also say categories of a function. So with number one, with no argument and no return, with arguments and no return. Third is with arguments and with return. Fourth is with no argument and with return. And we learn it one by one. Let's learn. So we have learned definition of function, second types of function, third is category of function. Now we learn the method of working. A function can work in one of the two forms, in one of the two ways. One in a non-recursive way, another is in a recursive way. A function can work in a non-recursive way or in a recursive way. So let's learn predefined function in first form. Let's see a predefined function in first form. Means function with no arguments and no return. We are seeing, you are seeing here a function hash include stdio.h void main round bracket start and closed curly bracket start and curly brackets. We know every C commands are written within main brackets, and main function is the first function that is very essential to be written in a C program. So how we create a function we are learning. So whenever we have learned, we can divide a large program into smaller parts. We can create different parts. We have learned. So here main is also a part. Main is also a function. We have not created this function. This is already defined function. This is a already defined function. Uh, so whenever a function is created, first of all, whenever a part is created, whenever we want to create a part or function, so first of all, we have to write a void, the word. Then second, the name of function. We can write any name. This is a predefined function, so they have taken it as a main and round brackets, empty round brackets. So this is a function. This is the way to create a function. How to create a function? First write void, then function name, then empty brackets, then curly brackets, and within curly brackets we can write any commands. So this void main function is the predefined function, and this is in the first form. It belongs to first form. Which form? Function with no arguments and no return. What does this mean? So let's learn. A program can have more than one parts. A program can have more than such parts. And every part can take or give data from other parts. And this is the function which will not. And this is the function we have written. The function which is of this form, function with no argument and no return. Okay, this function, void main function, belongs to first category, and this is the function which will not take any data from any other function, and this will not give any data to other function. So if we want to create a function with no arguments and no return type, then we have to first write void, then function name, then we have to keep brackets empty, or we can also write void in main. So a program can have more than one parts. Every part can take data from other parts, and every part can give data to other parts. So the function we have written, this is a function which will not take any data, and this will not give any data to other functions. But this main function is very essential to be written. Compiler always starts reading, executing set of statements from void main. So void main is the first function which is always executed first, and it is always read first by the C compiler. Even we have written many functions, but C compiler will come first to void main, and void main belongs to this void main function belongs to which category? Function with no argument and no return. It means this function will not return any data, will not give any data to other functions, and this function will not take any data from other function. Okay, so now we learn user-defined function in first form. First we have learned predefined function. We have seen predefined function in first form. Now we are seeing user-defined function in first form. Function with no arguments and no return type. Function with no arguments and no return. Hash include stdio.h void sum void, as we have said, as I have said, if we want to create our own function, first of all you write void, then function name, then round brackets void, then void void before the sum, and within the round brackets we write void. Okay, and this void can be kept empty. We can leave this void also. It stands for void if we don't write. So if we want to define our own function, then we will write first void, then function name, round brackets, curly brackets, curly, and the curly bracket, and within these curly brackets we will write commands. In the same way, we have created second function void division, round bracket, void, curly bracket, curly bracket. We have ended. So we have created two functions, two separate parts. One first part is of sum and second part is of division. We have created two functions, two parts, sum part and division part. Third main part is very essential. We have learned it is must to be written. So there are three parts in our program. First two functions are user-defined functions, R-defined functions, and main is system-defined function. And every function is of which category? First form category. function with no argument, because no function will give its data to anyone. No function will give its data to other function. So I hope you will have understood. If you will have any doubts, so you please comment. So how to call these function, how to use these function? I have written one statement in each function, void sum, void. In sum function, I have written this is first, and in division, I have written this is second function. So in void main, we are calling the function. We are calling the function because compiler always starts reading from main. So when this program will be executed, compiler will come to main and it will read some first statement, some calling statement. So when compiler will read some statement, this statement, so then compiler will go to some function. Compiler will perform its task, will run its statement, and compiler will come back to main, and then compiler will read division calling statement. Division, then compiler again will go to division function, and after executing this statement, compiler will come to main and it will end the program. So whenever compiler reads the calling statement, compiler goes to the called function. So calling statement sum, in main we have written calling statement. So we can call a function from anywhere. Any function can use any function. Okay. So now we C program with a single user defined function. Now we have written only a single function. In last slide, we wrote two user defined functions and one main function. And here we have written only some function. So you will see we have written, we are finding sum, we have taken three variables, A variable, B variable, C variable. Into A variable we have stored 10. Into B variable we have stored 5. And then C equal to A plus B will find the sum of A plus B. The sum of A plus B will be stored into C, and printf statement will print it on screen. Then compiler will return to main. So means when C compiler will find this program, will get this program, then compiler will first come to main function, then it will see the sum calling statement. Sum is a, and there is always semicolon at the end of a calling statement. When compiler reads calling statement, it goes to separate part, sum function. Compiler executes the function and returns back. Now we see in last slide we have taken 10 value and 5 values. We have initialized the values. We have kept fixed values into a and variable. This program will always find the sum of 10 and 5. If we want to take different numbers, if we want to find the sum of different numbers, then we have to get entries. So we in this program we have got entries. We have, you are watching, we have taken some function, we have taken three variables, and we are getting entries entered two numbers. First number will be entered into A and second number will be entered into B. Then A plus B will be summed up. Then answer will be stored into C. Then printf command will print the answer. So when we run this program, compiler first come to main function. There is only one statement, sum. This is called calling statement. As I have earlier already said, this is a calling statement and calling statement is always ended with semicolon. Calling statement. And when compiler will read this calling statement, compiler will come to sum function. This function is also called function definition or called function. This function is called function and this is calling function. Main is the calling function and sum is the called function. Because who is using sum calling statement? Main function. Main part is using the sum calling statement. The function which uses the calling statement is called calling function. Okay, so I am saying when we will run this program, compiler will come to main function and compiler will read some statement, calling statement, then it will jump to some function and compiler will run these set of commands, will get two numbers and will find the sum and will print the sum. And then program control comes back to me and then program is ended. So with this, in this session, in this part 1, we have discussed only about first form of function, first category of function. So you please understand it, clear it. If you have any doubt, you can say me, you can comment, you can send comment to me. So thank you, have a nice time, enjoy the time, and if you, I am saying again, have any doubts, please ask. And I say you please share our channel and like our channel. Thank you.